If you're a mid-level to C-suite leader who wants to own your growth and figure out your next small, brave move to achieve your leadership goals, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Small Brave Moves podcast, a weekly deep dive on how to be braver in leadership and in life for exceptional results. I'm your host, Nicole Bianchi, best-selling author, certified master executive coach, NSA certified speaking professional, chief bravery officer, and tough talk expert. If you're ready to become a better, braver, and more authentic leader, let's dive in. Welcome back to the Small Brave Moves podcast. Let me start with something that might make you feel uncomfortable. Most leadership failure isn't dramatic. It's quiet. It's the feedback you didn't give. It's the boundary you didn't hold, the decision you softened, or the truth you edited. Avoidance feels kind in the moment, but long-term, it's not kind. It's corrosive. So here's the question. What if becoming a braver leader didn't require reinvention, but it did require discipline? Not 5 hours, not a breakthrough weekend, not another certification, 5 intentional minutes a day. And before you dismiss that's just too simple, hear this. If you don't have 5 minutes to decide how you want to lead, you're not busy, you're undisciplined. And that's not judgment, it's math. After years of coaching high-performing leaders, here's what I know. The fastest growing leaders aren't the most charismatic. They're not the loudest. They're not the boldest personality in the room. They're the ones who practice courage quietly and daily before the world forces them to. Most leaders aren't intentional. They're reactive. So you wake up, you've got email, meetings, Slack, decisions, problem solving, and you start in response mode. And when you start reactive, you lead reactive. You avoid the hard feedback because morale feels fragile. You over-explain a decision so no one feels uncomfortable. You delay the boundary now because it just isn't the right time. You tell yourself you'll address it next week. Nothing explodes, but something erodes. And over time, you unintentionally teach your team that harmony matters more than honesty. Comfort matters more than clarity. Speed matters more than standards. And that's how authority weakens. That's how culture drifts. Not from incompetence, from micro-avoidance. The reality is, the reason you avoid the brave move isn't because you're incapable. It's because your brain is wired to avoid discomfort. So discomfort feels like threat. Threat triggers retreat, and that's biology. But 5 intentional minutes, that's you taking that steering wheel back. Before your first meeting, before your first email, pause. Set a 5-minute timer and ask, what energy or value do I want to bring today? What's one small but meaningful action that will require a little more bravery? And where am I most likely to avoid? And how will I reduce that resistance? That's it. Not inspirational, operational. Maybe your brave move is telling your highest performer that their behavior is eroding trust. Maybe it's telling your boss you disagree. Maybe it's admitting you feel overwhelmed instead of pretending you've got it handled. Maybe it's saying, I got that wrong. You're not trying to become fearless. You're becoming skilled at discomfort. And at the end of the day, before you close your laptop, ask, did I follow through? What shifted? What did I learn? And what win, even small, can I take a moment to just celebrate? When your brain registers, I did something uncomfortable and survived, it lowers the threat response next time. You are literally wiring a new neural pathway. Repetition builds identity, not inspiration. You stop thinking, I'm trying to be braver. You start knowing I am someone who takes brave action daily. Oof, that's power. Bravery is a leadership power skill, and the ability to hold a hard line, name a hard truth, initiate a hard conversation, that's executive presence. Now, zoom out. Culture is not built in offsites. It's built in these micro moments that leaders choose comfort over courage. It's in that brave conversation versus you normalizing avoidance. Every time you say the hard thing cleanly and respectfully, you normalize the truth. If I wanted to shift a team's performance in just one quarter, I wouldn't start with a new initiative. I'd start with 90 days of disciplined micro courage. Because when leaders take one small brave move per day, the avoided conversations decrease, conflict resolves faster, ownership increases, projects move quicker, and because that unspoken tension stops clogging the decisions. Innovation rises because dissent feels safe, and retention strengthens because clarity feels safe. Bravery stops feeling so dramatic and it becomes normal. The highest performing teams don't rise to the occasion by accident. They train for it daily. So here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow morning, before your first meeting, I want you just to pause, set a 5-minute timer, answer the 3 questions, choose one small brave move, then do it, and then tell me it doesn't change your day. If you want structure and accountability for 90 days, that's exactly why I created the Small Brave Moves Journal. Not because you need more information, because you need fewer excuses. It's 90 days because identity shifts through repetition. It's undated because perfection isn't the point. Inside, you'll find morning intention setting, evening reflection, habit tracking to make courage visible, weekly pattern recognition, and monthly leadership checkpoints that ask, where am I still playing small? What conversations am I avoiding? Where do I need support? Am I leading in alignment with my values or protecting my comfort? By week 4, you'll see patterns. By week 8, you'll see behaviors shift. By week 12, your identity changes. And 90 days from now, you won't just have a filled-in journal. You'll have evidence. Evidence that you are someone who acts with disciplined courage. Not when it's dramatic, not when it's convenient, daily. So I'll leave you with this. Where are you choosing comfort over clarity? And what would shift in your authority, your culture, your results, if you decided in advance to take one small brave move every day for the next 90 days? This is something I practice as well, every single day. The link is in the show notes if you want the structure, but whether you use a journal or not, take 5 minutes, one brave move daily. That's how leaders stop drifting. That's how identity shifts. And that's how culture changes. So until next time, keep making the small brave moves. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Small Brave Moves podcast. If you're wanting to take this work even deeper, I'm here to help. From engaging in inspirational keynote speeches to transformational coaching and workshops for leaders and teams, page-turning books, online courses, and enlightening leadership development retreats. There are so many ways that we can work together to take your leadership to the next level. For more information, check out the show notes, and let's do this together, one small brave move at a time. See you next week.